What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Movie Files. I'm here. Fella's about to come in right as we speak, right on cue. What's up, Bro Shot? Looks like
What
you
up?
got a haircut too, huh?
I got a trying to do a trim, and my hair was actually a little too wet, so it kind of so had to make an adjustment. So we're going what it is. Barber will correct on Saturday.
Oh, you tried to do that.
Oh yeah, man. It was a nice little time talking about that on Saturday. Yeah.
Very good. What's up, 80s kid from the 90s? What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Hey, Blake, what's going on, man?
What's going on, Blake?
We are looking forward to having another fun show with you all, and so much to talk about. J. King's supposed to jump on here soon. I'm trying to see if we should wait for him, but in the interim, as a diehard Superman fan, dear brother, what do you think about this new casting announcement, the new reveals of our new Superman and Lois, David Corsomet and Rachel Brosnahan? I knew I was going to butcher her last name. Shannon. Yeah, I think that's how you say it. Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Okay.
What do you think?
In terms of looks, they look like your traditional Clark and Lois, which I'm actually good with. I don't like.
I think they really look like Lois and Clark. I was really impressed with that. Like, oh, okay. I see what you guys are doing. I like that.
Next, like, I guess this is the big picture thing is like, all right, how many pictures are you having them? Are they here for we're trying to use these actors for the next 10 years, or we're trying to use them for, let's say, one movie and then we're going to age them up to go with everybody else? Like,
I mean, I'm looking at them and I'm like, that's Clark Kent. That's Lois Lane. I'm kind of like, okay.
You know, the funny thing is, as I looking at this picture right here, I'm like, I hope this dude studies Tyler Hoechlin's Clark Kent. Like, I don't care what James Gunn has. It's like, that's kind of how I think you start on that. It's like, okay, Clark Kent shouldn't be jaded at the world. As I say, I liked Henry Cavill's performance because I like what he did. But he's also, it's like, if Superman's too jaded, there's no way he'd actually want to help humanity.
No, as well he should not.
It's like, because it's like, I know, like, if you had a Superman basically who is an alien from basically drops here, let's just say 99, 2000-ish era. Yeah, he's not gonna like this place. I mean, it's like the kind of weird deal with Superman. You gotta go almost at a wholly fictional version of the world where everything's hunky-dory. Because if he comes in there, he's gonna come in there like Superman gods and monsters.
That's the thing about being in Smallville, the idealistic small town feel. Everybody says hi to each other. Everybody's happy. So that's the environment that he grows up in. So when he goes to the city, he's still bringing that element. And that's why Lois Lane picking fun of him going, Smallville, where are you from? The farm? Well, actually, yeah. And he's got this never defeated attitude of, I see the good in people. I'm all about being positive and happy. And I see the good in everyone. Even a guy like Lex Luthor who's trying to kill me. Lex, you could be so much better if you just stop trying to kill me. That's Superman.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what era he drops in, because that's him to the core. And, you know, we both like the Snyderverse, Henry Cavill Superman, because it was like, all right, well, it's something different. And Superman's actually fighting. He's not doing this super stalking like he was in Superman Returns.
He was giving... Brandon worked with what he was given to. Like, they told him, "Hey, we need you as a stalker who's been away for 5 years for no." I mean, the premise of the movie was stupid. So
that right away. 80s kids from the 90s agreed. Blake, what'd you say? Marvel so far is the only franchise that successfully used young to youngish actors for 10 plus years. DC has not been able to do it recently. No one cares about Henry approaching middle age. And I wish I looked like Henry Cavill approaching middle age, because the dude, I mean, I think like my favorite Henry Cavill action scene is from Mission Impossible. He's like It's like, oh shoot, he is about to bust heads. And and Man from Uncle, he showed a lot of charisma. And while I loathe most things about Josh Whedon's Justice League, I love that opening sequence. Can you say something for the press? Well, if it's for the press, I mean, it's like, yeah, that was a Superman moment. And we don't see too many of those the rest of the time. But I really like that. And I think Henry Cavill could have been great. I still don't understand why I was like, let's overhaul all these people who are really great in these roles. Because if we get, I mean, nobody was like, they need to recast Chris Hemsworth. These Thor movies aren't great. They're not setting the world on fire. Let's get somebody better to play Thor. It was, we just need to fine tune the Thor formula. Let's get a Thor Ragnarok, show a sense of humor, and then let the Russos take over. And we've got a great and awesome Thor. Now we need to retool Thor again after Love and Thunder, but
what movie?
Yeah, I know. I keep trying to.
No, but like, let's say this. Like, I think Henry Cavill, because when he was still at that getting jerked around stage, he was like, "Yo, I actually wanted to do a Man of Steel, like basically against Brainiac." It's like nobody saw that on the big screen. That would actually be something different, especially in that Snyderverse kind of universe. A Brainiac, like kind of, oh gosh, it's not the anime, it's the one that Jeff Johns did, like having that, just going straight to comic, like here's our template, go from here. And it's like, this is would have been a great movie. I don't understand truthfully why DC doesn't. I mean, it's like, hey, we have
Warner Brothers slash
we
DC.
don't need to rehaul. We need better scripts. We need better, because we can keep our connected universe instead of starting over. Like, oh well, we're gonna start with these 10, 20-ish actors, but we'll have them for 20 years. It's like, you don't know if you're going to have 20 years. Like, you guys have to understand, you still have the shortest leash in the world in the movie business. Like, you have 3 movies. If you don't hook the people in 3 movies, you have no chance.
No, you don't hook the audience in 2 movies, you're done. But if the cast is likable enough, you can still kind of pivot to a third one. But I think what's wild is that Blake's talking about Marvel Studios. Marvel was basically Jon Favreau, Josh Whedon to start, and that made them a ton of money. But they were like, we probably need to pivot, change our directorial focus. Let's put a little more emphasis on James Gunn. Hey, these Russo brothers are kind of onto something with their take on Captain America. Let's roll with that a little bit more. Let's see them do more of the Avengers with Civil War. Yeah. Oh, that's really good. Tell you what, you guys are going to do our big movies from now on. And that went wonders. And nobody was asking for Josh Whedon to do Avengers 3. It was like, who cares? The Russo brothers are amazing and awesome. All Warner Brothers slash DC needed to do was say, hey, Zach, you did a great job getting us started. Now it's time for us to go somebody else. Let's have another director do this Justice League versus Legion of Doom.
Okay. But like, they initially tried to do their course correct when they added Josh Whedon to finish Justice League.
That was terrible.
I mean, it's like,
he was the wrong guy to finish. He was just going to bring, here's what I did with Avengers, and I'm going to have Flash face plant on Wonder Woman. That's always good for laughs. And like little young Annie, that always works.
Funny thing. I mean, I have literally, since the Snyder Cut came out, I do not watch that movie. I have not. I don't. You were mentioning scenes. I'm like, oh yeah, that was something in that movie I don't watch anymore.
What's hilarious when you watch them kind of back to back is like, this is a totally different movie. 80s Kids from the 90s is with you.
Again, I don't. Thank you, 80s. I mean, I know we talked about it. That was like, everybody should kind of, hey, that's it. We see what you did, and that's different. But no, like, you can. I mean, it's like, you can test case stuff. I mean, it's like, this is how they've done movies. Like, hell, Star Wars literally had George Lucas had Francis Ford Coppola. I mean, heavy hitters in movies, and they're like, yeah, I don't see it. And he at least was getting feedback like, yeah, I see what you're going with. And nobody just we trust you. It's like, you don't have to give everybody 100% trust. You can say, oh, wow, that's good. Yeah, that scene's not going to work. Like, you can reshoot. Everything else in that movie works to me except Zod Kill. It's like, Because then
Oh.
I always say this: Lex Luthor was right, and then Batman and Bruce Wayne was right. If he kills his people, he'll kill everybody. I'm
I
sorry.
do disagree because my scene that I'm like, I wish y'all didn't have that in there was because like there's no way Superman is letting his daddy get killed off that way. Chief, what's going on?
What's up there, fellas? How y'all doing?
What up?
Cool. 80s kids from the 90s and Blake are hanging out with us in the chat, giving us all kinds of awesome quotes and all this stuff. We're talking Superman Legacy, talking about the new cast, Clark Kent, Lois Lane. Blake is going, we don't need Superman origin, so he doesn't need to look young.
He's right.
Gosh.
Not another origin story, for God's sakes. Absolutely correct.
Oh gosh. If they drop us into an origin, it's like we get it. Like that was always our point when it's like when you were telling us you were gonna give us a Ben Affleck Batman. Cool. We know we don't have an origin. We just know who Batman is. Like we're good. Like let's get it done.
Yeah, and I like the way they kind of snuck it in, where it's like we're not spending 20 minutes getting to this. It's like here we're gonna do it in the opening montage, opening credits. Don't worry about it. You know, we know Superman's the last character we ever need to see an origin for in cartoons, movie, TV, etc. He's Superman. But I did read today that Superman Legacy is going to start off with other heroes already existing in the DC universe. So it's not going to be this thing where, oh, for the very first time, who's this flying in the sky? I would love, I know they're not going to do this, but I would love for the Justice Society to have already been established. Like, hey, they were heroes running around during World War II. That would be awesome. And then Superman and his generation are picking up from where they left off.
Jeff, that would give Rock credit like he did something. We don't want that.
I mean, they have another Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, etc. So, I mean, it's not like, oh, what are you talking about here?
I mean, it gives you an avenue that you can go back to later on movies like, oh, what, hey, do you actually we never gave you a Justice Society. Would you like to see a movie like that?
All right, so Blake wants to know, or says they needed to get newbie actors because Henry would have charged too much. They don't have confidence in paying an actor a lot if the movie doesn't do well, so they have no confidence in the movie. I'm wondering if it's the case where they're like, we're going to run this for 10, 15 years. This is going to work. There's not going to be a problem. It's going to work this time. And we need people who aren't movie stars to the point where they're going to be like, oh, I've got all these different projects. I can't do it. And maybe that's why. I mean, Rachel wrapped up her show on Amazon, so it's not like, she's rocking a bunch of movies. I think maybe that's another reason they went that route, because Marvel did bring in some people who are like, okay, like they Chris Hemsworth he was like, oh, yeah, Kirk's father from Star Trek. Robert Downey Jr. was like, okay, they're trying to reclaim his career. Okay, they're going to salvage his career, do something. I mean, the biggest name was like, oh, got Terrence Howard. Wow, cool. Okay. Maybe I'll check this out. But it wasn't like they had all these heavy hitters. It was basically the MCU that boosted some of them up. I mean, Mark Ruffalo had great indie cred. Scarlett Johansson was probably the biggest name. I mean, Jeremy Renner was like, oh, yeah, that dude. But until the MCU was like, whoa, okay.
I put most of them to A-listers for real.
I mean, I don't know what's going on with his picture, but Captain OG Reedmore, is in the building.
I'm in the house.
Oh, he's in the house.
Get situated, guys.
I mean, you just want to be the empty circle space. That's fine. But I mean, we got people here.
No, I can't do that, man. I can't do that.
All right, put a shirt on at least. All right. 80s kid from the 90s wants to know, who would you cast as the Batman? Now, I'm curious if 80s kid wants to know that because James Gunn said, the Batman cast announcement for Brave and the Bold, way off. Be happy with Superman. I mean, what are you talking about? Who would you guys want to see as Batman? Robert Pattinson doesn't count.
Yeah.
So there's another Batman coming?
I mean, he's going to be part of this whole universe. It's not the same case as, hey, this is our newest Batman. It's only going to be in 2 movies. This one is allegedly going to be here for a while.
can't. It's so frustrating. You know, it's just frustrating, man.
You are really struggling over there with that.
Because I hate it. I hate it, man. And you know, 80s kids from the 90s, I didn't even know they were thinking of bringing the new. I thought the new Batman was the new Batman.
No, man, that's not part of this universe.
I thought this was the whole.
Yeah.
I can't. Listen.
Okay.
I don't even know these young guys. I guess it's going to be have to look.
That's that sign that you're getting old, Chief. They're bringing in people, and you're like, who is it?
Isn't Arnold Schwarzenegger's son looking to get into acting? The one from The Maid.
I have no clue.
All right. Okay. I got.
I know he works out like it's like Arnold. I mean,
Yeah, why not?
All right. So here's what our new Superman looks like. And you can see he bears a very, very striking resemblance to one Henry Cavill. I mean, these pictures are really interesting. So they just went younger, and yeah, so that's kind of interesting.
That just makes it even more stupid.
And Blake is with you, Chief. He's like, all the recasting got him frustrated. Me too.
It doesn't make any sense, man. It just doesn't make any sense. Nothing was.
All right, I'm gonna come back because you seem like you're really rattled. And
Yeah, man. It just
got you worked up.
Okay. All right. You got Batman. I got Nicholas Hoult, Beast from X-Men, the latest X-Men movies. Like,
I can see Nicholas Holt's a good actor. I can
Yeah.
see him doing that. I
Yeah.
suppose it's weird because I think he was up for Superman.
I think
Isn't he-
that was
but
kind of
isn't-
the rumor. He was kind of upward. So I think
He's got a nice little steely edge look to him where I could buy him totally as Batman.
yeah.
He's
I mean,
Batman.
like,
I can see those eyes. He looks like I'm gonna snap some. I'm not gonna snap next. I'm gonna break some bones because I'm the Dark Knight.
like, let me see. Like this right here.
There.
Yeah, like that looks like, all right, I'm smooth enough to be young Bruce Wayne, who's just like, let's say year 5, so we don't have to say we're recasting again. He's
How
I
tall is that dude?
really like those shoes.
How tall is that dude? 5'8", 5'9"?
I don't think he's short.
no, he was Beast. Remember, he was kind of like taller than most of everybody in X-Men first class.
We'll get him some boots, some lifts, Chief.
Hey,
He's
Homelander
6'3".
got like,
He's 6'3", so you're
Yeah.
covered.
I was saying, as you guys said on the figure files, like, what's it? Homelander's got like giant lifts, so
Yeah, it does.
we can work around that. That's easy. The 6'3" would be a good size, like a Batman, like somebody who's like suave and not imposing, but kind of like, oh, okay, all right, got a chance.
So, what do you think about that? You like that one? J. King, who is your Batman?
Christian Bale.
No way.
I mean,
You're out.
I mean,
Stop messing around.
Think about it.
I mean, listen. We had Affleck and he sold it, and I didn't think he would. Right? I was pretty set on what we had ahead of us, but then DC's this whole mess that they've made of their universe. Now they're recasting everything again, or at least these Batman, Superman again. In all honesty, I didn't think Pattinson did a great job, but it's like for continuum's sake, you make it happen. You got to kind of mesh all of this stuff together somehow.
Blake, I got great news for you. It's like James Gunn might actually be onto something. The new Superman, David Cornsweet, is 6'4". So if nothing else, he's got the height. So that's
Tall.
great. And Batman cannot be taller than Superman. Absolutely. They
No.
really should be looking eye to eye.
No, 6'4" is a good height. 6'4" is a good height.
All right, so Chief, you're excited. You're optimistic.
No.
Whoa.
6'4"
It got everything
Good height.
worked. It all worked out for you.
You trying to sneak it in on me. You liking the juice? No, 6'4" is a good height. That's all. That's all
That's
I'm
all
going
there
with.
is.
Henry Cavill
Right
was
there.
6'1". So
6
he
foot
got 3
9,
inches on Henry.
Nah, I mean Ben Affleck's around what 6'2", 6'1", 6'2".
Oh no, Ben Affleck looked like a grown man Batman up in there. Like, oh shoot,
Yeah, man.
he put in some work.
How tall is
He got all
Affleck?
buffed
He
up
can't
too.
be that tall.
He's 6. He's just said he's 6'2".
Okay, that's a reasonable Batman height, 6'1", 6'2".
He's 6'2". Ben Affleck.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, you like I said, you can't have no little Batman, you can't have no little Superman.
No.
But then, and the problem I had with Patterson was that he was frail bodied.
Yeah,
It's not an actual term. He's 6'1".
no, but again, Pat,
But
you
Patterson had like a whack kind of setup. I mean, they could have put him in a muscle suit. He would have been fine because he can play hard, edgy characters. They just went a little too hard and edgy and emo with his version of Batman.
okay,
he was
did they
emo
tell?
Batman.
Huh?
He was emo Batman.
Yeah.
But did
I didn't
he
need
say
that
he
variant.
didn't want
I didn't
the
need that
muscle suit?
multiverse version of Batman.
Did he say he didn't want the muscle suit? He was just, I'm not working out. Whatever.
Yeah, he was like, I'm good on working out. I think it's more realistic to have a dude who's not working out going up and beating the dudes. I'm like, no.
Yeah, that fits along with everything that we know.
Hey,
yeah. That's like me going out and fighting right now. I'm so out of shape. I got 30 seconds of pure fury. And I'm gonna tell you, if it's not done in that 30 seconds, brother.
You're not even like our man. You're like you're not even a minute man.
Pure fury.
30 seconds. Man. James Green, what's going on, partner?
What up, though?
Oh man, so yeah, but listen, I think who they have is right. And Chief, I don't know if you were on here when we had the pictures of the new Superman and Lois. I'm excited about them. J. King, I know you weren't here, but what do you think, man?
I saw this earlier when you saw the article and it came up on my news feed. I'm just glad that they're sticking with. We're not going to get something totally different, especially because the show is really popular and those two are casted right. So it just makes sense to do something in continuum to what you've already done instead of saying, all right, we got the show on WB and here's the movie stars that we cast. Let's just do this and fart it out and let that be that. You can do a lot of things with this. You can build up from the show to the movie. You can do like, what do you call it, Clone Wars to, what was it? Yeah. You can do something like that where something from the show carries, it's like carry over to the movie, which I hope is something that they do to build anticipation. Anything. As long as it makes sense and it's something to build upon, yeah, go for it.
All right, 80s Kids putting it out for y'all. What costume do you think Superman will have? Do you think the red trunks could return? I'm thinking bright blue and red. What costume do y'all want to see, fellas?
Tim Burton, Nick Cage Batman costume with the lights and shit all over it. That's what I want. Totally ridiculous. Christmas tree costume.
I think honestly the one he had from what was it, New 52? No, not New 52. Rebirth. I think that's the one they probably should go with. I mean, it's like
pull that up.
The tights. I mean, the trunk. I mean, the red kind of what we now consider underwear. I think it's probably we're probably done with that era.
Which I always think is funny. It's like
as long as it's not that dark costume from Superman Returns.
That was worse. I mean, that
was terrible.
When they tried to go darker on the next one, it's like, guys, why would you go that route?
Yeah, you might as well have been black. So I agree. It should be a bright costume. I mean, because I think they're trying to cheer this movie up, give it a bright dynamic versus how they said the Man of Steel was dark. So I think you got to kind of put them in something that pops versus something that's because even in the scenes where he's flying around or something, I like the bottom right.
The bottom right.
The bottom
This
right.
one here.
Yeah.
That's the one you want?
I like that the way that is. I mean, it's different. It's new. The S is different than what it usually is.
It looks like an S.
That's fine.
It's over there.
That's
Yeah, I don't like the one with the collar up. That I know what they were going with.
You like that?
I do not like that now.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say.
That's like Judge Dredd,
Right,
Versace
militant
design
Superman.
Superman costume.
Yeah,
Plus all these wacky panels for no reason.
You got
that
hippie
looks like
Superman.
that looks like he's in Zod's army, like a lieutenant in Zod's army.
Right. What about long-haired mullet Superman?
Right.
Any takers? No. Okay. All right. Then we got the Christopher Reeve homage there.
Mhm.
That's like classic Superman to me.
It's not bad.
I like that blue. The S is prominent. No problem there. I do need the trunks though. That's what I need for my Superman.
Let's go back to creatine mullet Superman right there. Let's go back to 24-hour fitness membership, Gold's Gym membership, T-back tank top. Yeah, bro, you gotta work your lats. It's leg day.
That Superman, the weird thing is like, how are you going to get from Clark Kent to that? Because everybody's that hair is like
unless Clark Kent, Jason, unless Clark Kent works at like, I mean, with that mullet, where does Clark Kent work? He's not working for the Daily Bugle.
No,
Clark
he's definitely not working for the Daily Bugle.
Clark Kent got a ponytail and he sells art. He doesn't work for the Daily Planet anymore.
No, that Clark Kent has a booth at the Nation's Gun Show. He's going to show you where silencers are. He has a booth at the Nation's Gun Show. He sells knives and firearms.
Door to door.
That's not the
I
way
got
to
you,
go.
Devon. I got you.
Prison barber.
Just because you wanted to know, here you go.
Oh, man.
Damn.
Oh, look.
See, that Superman makes meth. He cooks meth. He knows his way. He's whipping it on the stove.
But check out the
He goes Walter White, yeah.
super crunk peanut butter.
Gosh, that's
Bullshit. That's meth. That is super chunky meth.
Party time Clark. Yeah.
That's meth cook-up Clark Kent. I don't know what you're talking about.
The business in the front, party in the back.
Absolutely. Let's see. So Blake wants to know if you guys read Superman Legacy. I'm curious to read it now. I need to make sure because I was doing a quick check and I was like, wait. Because now, of course, because of the movie, everything is slanted to the movie. I'm trying. Oh, okay. Yes. That's so funny. They will not put anything the way back. That's the one thing with movies, man. When they start coming up, it's like, it's a wrap. Gosh. Okay. So frustrating. And then now I look. Huh?
I'm trying to look at because they always pull up Superman Legacy. They always pull up All-Star Superman.
Oh, you and All-Star
I
Superman.
think what they probably did is change up. Jeez. Blake, help me out. I'm sure I read Superman Legacy at some point. I'm just trying to figure out because now, of course, they refuse to put anything but this, and now because of the movie, let's shift up the cover image. Darn it.
Yeah.
Frustration. We'll track it down.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Blake has a new name for your ponytail Superman.
There he is. Chippendale's Clark.
Hello, ladies. Right from the newsroom.
Oh, shoot. Nobody put
Bring down the Superman.
Yeah, man.
Oh, interesting.
James is not impressed with your 30 seconds that you bring into the party.
30 seconds of pure fury, James.
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
P-U-R-E. Pure
Go ahead.
fury.
I'm probably wrong.
Pure fury.
It's serious. It's not just like
you.
whack fury. It is like,
coming at
you.
You know? If you survive those 30 seconds, I'm hopping in my car.
It's real. All right. Who should be Jimmy Olsen in this?
I'm driving
I feel like we need to have Lex Luthor. We need to have Jimmy Olsen. Who else?
Pete Davidson.
Jimmy Olsen.
The one from.
I'm starting to think you're not serious about this getting in the casting business.
Okay, I think you have Jimmy Olsen be the same guy from Supergirl.
No, you are about. I wish I could put up my Family Feud exes because both of you, as the rest of you go, good answer. No, terrible.
Okay, so all right, what are we looking for? We're looking for somebody who's small. Like, are we looking intern kind of? Yeah, like Tom Holland size, like 5'6" and under.
I think he would be good. He needs to be tech savvy so he can show Clark how to use the phone. No, Mr. Kent, you need to update your. Never mind, I'll just do it. But yeah, somebody like Tom Holland.
Yeah, because I mean, like now, I mean, here's the weird thing. Now, do you have Jimmy Olsen be the camera guy, or do you have him be the tech guy? I mean, because like
both.
Yeah, I mean, because I think there's still a market for a good photographer. I mean, Getty Images hires photographers, or they use photos from photographers. I mean, at the NFL stadiums, they have professional photographers that everyone uses, posts, whoever. So Jimmy could just be one of those exceptional photographers. It still works as a photojournalist.
All right.
We need him, definitely, for sure. All right, who's your Lex Luthor? Bryan Cranston said, stop. Don't call me Lex Luthor just because I rocked a bald head and played a bald villain.
No.
Not anymore.
I mean, again, I still think we missed an opportunity for Mark Strong. I mean,
I agree. I like this choice.
That worked.
Dustin from Stranger Things. It's Jimmy. Yeah.
That worked.
I'm down with that. James Green says tech guy all the way. Just as long as he's not able to play a VHS tape in 2025.
He cannot be Chloe. I mean, not Chloe,
Felicity.
But he can't be Felicity.
Yeah.
It's like things have to be hard.
That guy. That would be good. All right. So Lex Luthor. Mark Strong was spent already as a bald villain in the DCU as Dr. Savannah. So he's probably off the table. And I don't need my Lex Luthor to have hair. That's my one prerequisite. I can't have him with hair, even a long flowing red mane. Javon, I'm sure you remember that time with Lex Luthor with his red hair.
I was gonna say you want straight bald, no mustache, no beard that goes all over the world.
You know, honestly, I would love to see Elon Musk as Lex Luthor.
You know, I am firing you from casting. You are done, sir.
Just an Elon Musk type.
He has that punchable face, doesn't he?
He has to have a. You see where I'm going with this, and you're trying to fire me here. He has to have a punchable face and a know-it-all. I'm the smartest man in the world. He has to have that with a little bit of Jeff Bezos. He can be Jeff Bezos.
Bezos doesn't even need to cut his hair.
Yeah,
I mean, Bezos is actually in shape enough to do it. I mean,
you want redheaded Luthor?
I'm just joking. This was Superman in the 90s, and this is what we're getting. Blake's right there with you. He says Kip Bezos, he can play an evil megalomaniac that's bald, no problem.
Yeah.
What about Wes Bentley?
Wes Bentley. I mean, Hunger Games is over. It's time. He could do that.
That dude always got that. He always plays those parts.
Oh, I like this picture. This is a much more conniving. We'll just have to imagine him bald, and I don't need a Lex Luthor with a goatee either. That's another prerequisite. Can't have that.
How old are we casting Lex Luthor? 50?
I want less than that, but so older. But what do you think?
That looks like that dude has what Javon said. He's got the look of like I'm the smartest person in the room, and if you want him to be super arrogant. I mean, that look right there, that's doing
it for you.
Why do I hire you people? Gosh.
80s kid in the 90s wants the absolute most punchable face dude to play like Luthor.
Gosh.
Pete Davidson.
Oh, no. Honestly, the funny thing is Pete would actually, if you wanted to have like a Jimmy Olsen, Pete Davidson could probably do that, but I think he's actually too old for it. But he could pull off a Jimmy Olsen.
And also, he'd be like, yeah, you know what? I was going to do this thing with Superman, but I got a little shorty coming through about 5.
Yeah, he's like slacking Jimmy Olsen.
That's going to be put on hold. That Superman thing got to be put on hold. Yeah.
I don't need this watch. Hold up. Adam Driver is Lex Luthor. Yeah. I can
a
see
bald Adam Driver would give me nightmares. He's already uglier than sin.
Wow. That's just.
Yeah. Like, okay. I'm
Now, if you say Kylo Ren, I'd be right there with you.
See, to me, I have not seen Adam Driver in anything that like, wow, this is a great performance. It's like, I mean, it's like he's got to have the personality to be a jerk. Like Wes Bentley literally has that like kind of, you come up to me, you hit. If I'm in a bar and you talk to me around, I got that look. Like Adam Driver's like, I don't care, whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
nothing there. I can do this or something else. I can be fishy.
And that also is Joaquin Phoenix.
He's tied up already, thankfully.
Wait a minute, y'all. Blake, you just stumbled on something. You don't even know it. You're saying Jake Gyllenhaal for Lex, but what about Jake Gyllenhaal for Batman?
Man, I don't know about that. I need
think about it.
Resolution picture I found, but I can see him ball being Lex Luthor though.
Because I just watched. I watched The Ambulance. Yeah. And it's like Jake Gyllenhaal is a really good actor.
Yes,
he has that down. He's like his volatile personality wise his acting could also work as a Lex Luthor.
I can see him as Lex Luthor. Even now. Like you put him for the Nightcrawler era. I don't know why that picture was so terrible. It was
what about Bruce Wayne?
The lowest res thing ever. But
I think he's too old. I think he's actually too old for Bruce Wayne.
Huh?
Yeah, I think Gyllenhaal.
He's in his at least 30s.
No,
he is older
than that, right?
I said at least. Like,
well, I mean that covers a lot. He's 42 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Somebody ain't too old.
Well, that's old enough for because of the movie.
If Henry Cavill's out, so is Jay.
And DC drops a movie every 10 years, so it'll be 52 by the time Batman 2 comes out.
Wait a second. You're assuming they get a sequel. 80s kid from the 90s. That's what I've been saying for months. Gyllenhaal is Batman. All right, Javon. So you got somebody signing off with you.
It might have wings. Thank you, 80s kid.
Yeah, like I said, if DC was dropping movies every 2 years like they're supposed to, fine.
That would
but every 10 years, they're like Bad Boys with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith.
Is there another Bad Boys?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They dropped one movie in high school. The next one they dropped.
We're in college.
My first record.
We was going for like our 20th year anniversary in high school. So yeah, that's DC. Like we won't give you this one. Wait for the sequel 20 years from now. So yeah. We might not be here to see. Jake Gyllenhaal might not be here to see it.
Shoot, we might as well cast Batman as an 18-year-old at this rate.
Yeah.
All right. Just a reminder of what's on docket for DC films. Superman Legacy 2025. We got our casting announcements. So that's great. We're actually moving forward with this. And they'll take all next year to shoot. So great. And then the movie will come out, say July-ish 2025. Then we got The Authority, a movie I think you've been asking for, Javon. One of those more adult movies. Then we got The Brave and the Bold. That's Batman and Damian Wayne. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. I feel like it's super early, pun intended, to bring in any clone / oh yeah, I'm like this character that you just cared about. I'm just the younger version. I'm the girl version. I'm just the whatever version.
Okay. Like, am I wrong? Because I still think, Sasha Calle should just continue with the role of that.
It's not just you.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, she was already there. We used, whatever, DC. Go.
See, you're so jaded. Swamp Thing is another movie we have coming. Again, I'm not real, outside of Superman and The Brave and the Bold and how they do The Authority, I'm not really excited about that film slate. So that's kind of weird.
Who's asking for Swamp Thing? Who? Listen, the guys in the chat, man, are y'all asking for Swamp Thing? Who's asking for Swamp Thing? Like, who has sat down out of all the characters you be like, yo, Swamp Thing needs his turn. This doesn't make sense. That's what I'm saying. You can rebrand it. They stuck a new sticker on it, and they're still trying to service that same old water. It's just Polar Springs with a brand new shiny sticker on it. You know what I mean?
Oh, see, that would be funny. Blake says
it's tap water in a Polar Spring bottle.
Okay, that comment right there, Plastic Man is somebody who's not been on the screen, has not had a TV show canceled already, has not had a movie already, and actually will be somebody from a Justice League, which you should be you're building. What are you trying to build into? Avengers, I mean, all the movies built to Avengers. A connected universe needs to build to a Justice League versus a world threat. A Plastic Man adds into the DC.
And you don't have to set the movie around the swamp. Oh.
So let me just, So it's going to be in Florida or Louisiana? We filming in Florida or Louisiana?
Yeah, he's lying. He's a plant.
We're being trolled right now. James, you're trolling
He's
us,
a plant. I see what you did.
All right, so who's casting? Who's Swamp Thing? Is it going to be David Harbour or somebody like that?
David Harbour could be a fun Swamp Thing. I don't know. I'm really not that excited about Swamp Thing. Plastic Man would be great.
But see, Jeff, that's the thing about it. Shouldn't that be something reserved for Max? Like the streaming
that seems a perfect character for that kind of platform.
And make it funny.
We've already done it. It got canceled before its first episode.
Like, really?
I think the first episode was on, and then that weekend it was like, yeah, we're done with this thing.
Really?
Are you talking about the movie, James? Because the movie was decent, but I don't know what happened with the show because they killed it as soon as it was on the same weekend. It's like, nah, dude, we can't do that. Yeah, Max, I think that's the best route to go with him. But then let's see what about the other movies they have lined up. Shows, because they have some weird stuff on that. Got Creature Commandos, that's a cartoon. So we know that's coming 2024. So next year, get ready, guys. Then we got Waller, because we've had Suicide Squad, 2 editions. We've had Peacemaker. And now we're getting the Amanda Waller show.
Hey, Jeff.
Yo.
Didn't we kill the Snyderverse?
Hey, just ignore that stuff, okay? And then we got Lanterns coming. We got Paradise Lost, the Game of Thrones on Themyscira show, then Booster Gold. And then 80s kids from the 90s wants to know. Stop shaking your head, Chief. It's all going to work out, I promise. Who should be Booster Gold? And see, this is a Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson would be an ideal kind of actor to play Booster Gold because he could be kind of serious, but more so funny. I'm not saying Pete Davidson. I'm saying somebody like him. So whoever that comedian type character of the day who could be funny, or
why are they not doing Spider Dude?
Maybe the dude who did Jack Reacher.
No, he's way too buff to play him. I want him to play Hawk.
Because that dude. But I mean, is he still buff? Because even the Wedding Ringer,
right now he bench presses houses. I mean, I'm
just saying that might have been for that role. Because the Wedding Ringer, he was slimmer.
He was in Fast and Furious 10. Like,
was he just okay?
Yeah, they literally had to keep him around away from everybody. Like
everyone.
Ben is like, I need him far away. Like, nah, shit.
Oh wow.
I mean, not that my ego's frail or anything, but yeah, this is who they should get for Booster Gold. My guy right here, who is Jace. You're gonna be with me on this one. Glenn Powell. he was like perfect as Booster Gold.
He looks like the quarterback who, I mean, exactly like I was betting on some games.
Yep.
I thought I had everything worked out perfectly, and then it all went to crap. Like, I mean, I just watched Maverick, and he basically is like, he has that cockiness. In Maverick, he has that cockiness. Like, oh gosh, I was a man. Now I'm a champion.
You hated Hangman. He was the new
Hangman was great. What are you talking about? But see, he was great in Scream Queens. I don't know if you guys watched that, but he was awesome in Scream Queens. So he can pull off.
That's who he. Okay.
Yeah, he was my guy in that show. Hold up, Pete Davidson, Plastic Man. He could do that too. I don't know why we're so focused on giving Pete Davidson work, but we are, and I'm kind of here for it because I think that would work. So yeah, that would be a good catch choice there. Davidson is Plastic Man would be comedy gold. Yeah,
it would be.
I'm all right with that. Chris Pine or Pratt could be Booster Gold. I know there's been some discussion since James Gunn is head of DC, and a lot of his Guardians actors are like, "Oh, word, is there a part for me?" Like Johnny Drama. Hey, bro, you think there's a part in there for me? But I want to see the further adventures of Star-Lord. So I want to see him still around for.
Are they doing more Star-Lord things?
They're done.
You haven't watched Guardians, have you?
No.
Yeah, that's the only one you had to see, Chief. Everything else has been, but that one is worth seeing.
Every time y'all mention them, it's like, Chief, you ain't see this, you gotta go see it.
Well,
I have said that for
you have a holiday
a
weekend
very
coming
small
up.
list of movies.
It looks sad, man. It looked real sad.
It's great.
Rocket had me emotional. I didn't need to be emotional at that time.
It's perfectly fine. Let me make sure here. The movies that I said you have to go see: John Wick Chapter 4, standing by that one. Fast X, definitely need to watch that on the big screen. I haven't seen it, but I'm planning to very soon. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Yeah. What else? Did I say Fast X? Because I mean that's been the stuff. And Guardians. That's what I said you gotta go to the movie theaters to see.
Yeah, like Mission Impossible will be definitely on that list too.
That's gonna be on that list for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Karen Gillan is Hawk Girl or Batgirl?
Well, first of all, let me see what Karen Gillan looks like because I don't know who that is.
Nebula. From the Guardians.
Well, again, let me see what she looks like.
Okay, all right. Did you see?
I know Nebula looks like it.
Did you see Jumanji?
Oh, that's her.
Yeah,
the dancing girl with the radio.
Yeah, that's her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she'll work. I mean, but here's the odd thing with what they're doing with DC. Are they releasing that Batgirl movie at all or not?
So that was the really interesting thing. So I think I sent you that. They are not releasing that, but at this rate, they said The Flash would have made more money if it had gone to HBO Max or Max instead of going to theaters.
Yeah,
and it might not make 100 million in its third weekend at the box office, which is nuts.
Yeah, I think the Flash they got it wrong. I think the Flash would have made more money if the entity playing the Flash hadn't been a complete out of his mind.
They could. I mean, like, if you probably fire Ezra, recast. I mean, because you lost. Like I said in my dummy week last week, it was studio's fault for not being able to do the press tour by not actually getting over the writer's strike. But it was like also
what they deserve,
not
Jason,
having your star being able to be on Instagram, TikTok.
He couldn't promote
the heck out of this movie. It's like because even if we're like you have a Snyder folks, like DC folks, like I'm not gonna see another movie. It's like you can get a likable star will bring people in there. An unlikable star will sink a movie faster than anything, and they made
their bed.
It was a good movie, but I think we forget how much those press tours bring in your casual fan, and that probably is the difference between a $50 million opening and maybe a $70 million opening weekend where it's not a flop. It's okay. Once audiences go see it, it'll improve. But
your star has to be able to sell the product. He has to be on everything from James Corden to Graham Norton. He's got to be all over the place, right? Mm-hmm. They couldn't do that because their star, unfortunately, was dealing with legal issues and everything else that they were dealing with. That hurt, and that changed public perception of this actor. And DC, DC deserved it because they stuck by it. They stuck by a problematic actor, and now look what you got. Another mess.
So right now it's at 89.2 million. This is his third weekend. There's, if I'm remembering correctly, there's nothing coming to really challenge it. But
challenge it. It's not. We said this. Right. What was it? We said, what was it? After the release, this should pretty much coast until Mission Impossible.
Right. Spider-Man was like, nah, we're going to come back and take this #1 spot. Yeah. Jennifer Lawrence came through with a new comedy. Was like, I think I'll come in here too.
The funny thing is, you just seeing the kind of R-rated trailer for that. I'm like, I might actually see that movie. It looked like it had enough humor to it. But The Flash is like the casual person. It's like, I have no reason to go see this.
I still think it's mostly because they broke up the universe. You're going to see a movie that doesn't count for nothing in a genre where movies set up movies. And this movie is just it's like spit in the ocean. It means nothing. It does nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this movie. So, what was the purpose of me going to see The Flash when it doesn't count for anything? You know
So
me,
you
man.
say
You know
farewell
I'm
to the
that guy.
Snyderverse.
I didn't watch the Daredevil when they said they were canceling. I'm
Yeah,
that type
for
of
what?
guy.
Why
I
watch
won't go see a movie. Listen. You don't know how angry I get, man, when I start watching a show and then they cancel it after the first season. Because now I feel like I've wasted my time watching this show when I could have been doing something else. I'm like, that messes with me. Because I'm like, man, you had me sitting here an
It
hour.
was real intense too.
Yeah, no,
Think if you what
dude.
was it? Jupiter Ascending. If you like, we watched Jupiter Ascending, like, oh man, they're gonna have a great. By the time you got to the last episode, psych, cancel.
No. Jupiter's Legacy. You're talking about a totally.
Jupiter Ascending is the movie.
Yeah, Jupiter Ascending is the movie.
Yeah.
Jupiter's Legacy. You're like, oh, this is gonna be great. Oh, it's like, oh, I see where y'all got this mystery. Oh, okay, cool.
So it's just no point. It's just no point. It's no. It means nothing. And in superhero movies mean something.
Yes,
they mean something in that universe. And when you get a movie that means nothing, you're asking me to leave my house, drive to a crowded movie theater, pay $50 if I'm going with somebody, right? 30 if I'm by myself, and then to watch a movie that it dead's right there. Even if it is a decent movie, it was a decent movie. I'll be the first to tell you the movie was quite decent.
That's the other part too. You may not even get a sequel. You're not getting a sequel. Not only is it not setting anything up, even if this is a good movie and you're like, damn, I want to continue this. I want a part 2. Hopefully, you ain't getting it.
But if I had to pay to see that movie, it would still be. I would have never saw it. Yeah, see? The same thing here for me too. 80s kid from the 90s. I got that free pass for the Flash because the Flash wouldn't have been seen without it.
Where'd you get the free pass from?
Hey, Lyle's Movie Files.
I'm real. I feel like the whole when they have the multiverse on the table, I just feel like there's money that they could always go to. Hey, why don't we do another Snyderverse era film? Not to do anything else with Zack Snyder. We can just incorporate Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, Ben Affleck. Let's throw them on a movie just for fun. And we can still have this other one on the side. We can keep bringing up our new Superman and all those guys. But hey, for those y'all who like that darker, rougher version, here you go. Here's a new installment of it. And I feel like that was an issue that they could not figure out because it's like, this is too confusing. Hey, what's the latest on that script for Joker 2? What? Okay. All right.
I would love to see the Snyderverse compete against the Gunverse. I would love to see how that, like, if they both branched out and just said, and Snyder said, yo, I want to do this with this cast, and Gunn was like, I'm going to do this with, I would love to see how those movies competed against each other. Because I'm a Snyder guy all the way. I'm not even going to support the Gunn joint. I'll be out the movie theater with a sign, be like, don't you dare walk into that Gunn universe. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna be honest with you.
So here's the thing, like, about that. These movies cost at least now $200 million plus to make. So you can't have competing $200 million in the studio. Because if one fails, just like Flash, it's like you starting top. It's like you think, like, since Gunn and Safran made that announcement, none of them have made like straight up $150 million in their box office run. None. It's like you don't get Shazam. Shazam doesn't get it. Flash doesn't get it. Black Adam doesn't get it. And yes, what's the name? Lost Kingdom is going to be on the same boat. Like Jason Momoa, we like him, but it's like, nope, not going to wait. I'm waiting for HBO Max or my Blu-ray. I'm not going to waste my $50 to go see this movie. Like, I know it goes absolutely nowhere. Like, I'm sorry, and Blue Beetle. It's like, yeah, it's going nowhere. Why am I going to waste my money on this movie?
Do y'all think Gunn's movies are going to be just rinse, wash, and repeat of Guardians of the Galaxy? Going to follow the same kind of format?
After I watched Guardians Volume 3, I think not. I was very much worried it was going to be like, hey, it's a new Peacemaker. We're just going to do our thing. But I really think that they've done a much better job and far more confident about what they're going to do from this point on, because I was quite worried. here is a very interesting statistic or chart from Box Office Mojo, and I'm very curious what you guys think of this, because this tells the tale of exactly what y'all were talking about. Come back up. There we go. Wonder Woman, highest grossing domestic film. Aquaman's number one because it grossed $1 billion worldwide. Let's see here. Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, number 3. Suicide Squad, the first one, number 4.
Okay.
Man of Steel, 5. Justice League, 6. Ouch. Number 7. Can you see what number 7 is?
Black Adam.
Black.
Oh, so it did make
Adam.
Okay. Wait, is that domestic box office
This is
total?
just domestic. Just domestic.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm $16 million. I'm $18 million wrong. Like there.
Bro, look at the drop off after between 8 and 9.
All right. Well, Suicide Squad is basically an HBO Max release.
And it was a pandemic release too.
Yeah. Wonder Woman 84, same thing.
Same deal.
Shazam, Fury of the Gods. That movie got hampered 100% by crappy marketing and James Gunn and Peter Safran. Like those,
Look at those theaters.
those three things right there literally crippled that movie because it's actually a good movie. It's just like I'm not gonna waste my time seeing this, like at all.
And Birds of Prey made like
$57 million,
$14
bro.
on the re-release.
$57 million.
This
Hey,
is
God, that's
updated.
really bad.
And I
with
like
Flash.
the Shazam movies. That's what's crazy. Like why didn't y'all like they just what? I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna get involved in
So
it.
right now on this chart, Flash would be the new number 10. No, the new number 9. But it's probably not gonna make 100 million domestic. Well, at least this weekend. Maybe it'll stumble through, but gosh, that's not great.
Is there anything out this weekend? Anything released from this weekend?
I don't think there's anything that a summer blockbuster comic book movie would have been worried about, even though it's July 3rd weekend or July 4th weekend.
This would have been like nice holdover weekend. Like you've made like let's say 150 million. You're expecting to cruise at 50 million this weekend, like easy. And
You got no competition, right, for this weekend?
yeah, this is third. This should be like your third weekend. Like Avengers right now is very happy with what they're gonna make. Like
If this was the 90s or the late 90s, early 2000s, this one a Will Smith movie would have dropped.
It would. You're right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was driving them like crazy for a while, man. We're gonna see that new Will Smith joint. So
well, Insidious comes out next Friday, and that trailer is creeping me out because of that MRI scene. I'm like, come on, man, that is some real terrifying stuff. There is nothing really. Oh wait, I'm sorry. So this Friday, the big movie's Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny, and I know you guys are really looking forward to seeing that one.
what was it?
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Shades is excited. He's hyped up. He's ready for it.
Why don't they let Indiana Jones just chill, man? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, what was that? The first Raiders of the Lost Ark was like 83, 84?
82 probably.
I don't understand why they would love to beat something to death. Like, and the last choice was some garbage.
That was the one with Shia LaBeouf, wasn't it?
I don't know. I just know it was garbage.
That was the one where they hopped into the fridge to survive the nuclear fallout. That was when I was like,
I'm sorry. Wait, why did you guys? Again, you guys should have stopped at Last Crusade like I did, and never have to worry about these problems.
Was that with Sean Connery?
Yeah.
You chose wisely.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
the Pepsi commercials.
Exactly. All right. So, Secret Invasion is apparently not doing great with viewers. It's among the lowest viewed Disney Plus shows right now. And I'm a little bit surprised by that because I thought it was great. And I liked the first 2 episodes. But let's see. At this point, it's the second lowest viewed series above Miss Marvel and right in between She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. So Loki opened to 2.5 million, and She-Hulk was 1.5 million. I'm not so sure what's going on. I guess people don't like it. But so far, at least with the first episode, Secret Invasion was at 994,000. That, of course, is the not official ratings because, much like Netflix, why should we tell you what we're doing? Why is it not working?
We're not in the pandemic anymore. People are going outside. I think
I
that's
don't think
probably the measure.
Is there any interest to see Nick Fury do his thing? I don't see, but you're hardcore. The rest of us, you know what I mean? The rest of us, I don't know if I have to. If I don't know if I need to watch Nick Fury do anything. You know what I mean? Like and what do I need to watch Nick Fury do by himself? You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone.
80s Kid for the 90s said episode 2 made me leave the show. Nick Fury was great though. I like my superhero show stories to be an escape from reality. Maybe that was why She-Hulk didn't get enough love. It was not an escape from reality. It was here's what's going on in the real world. I'm curious about this though, because there's a huge drop from Loki's 2.5 million, and I feel like it's not like people were like, I gotta get out the house. Shows that are good are still getting people to watch, but I don't know if that buzz is just gone from the MCU. And we know right now the DCU stuff is not doing anything to get people to theaters.
I mean, but Jeff, here's the thing. I think everybody's going on pandemic inflated numbers.
Yeah, stick man.
Yeah, they have to be. Because one, you can't discount the fact that everything's open and people getting back to everything, travel, concerts, everything. To have that kind of viewership week in, week out, unless you are a mega popular show like a Game of Thrones, give me something else, guys. Whatever, Loki, whatever,
Well, that's the
To
problem.
keep,
You can't think of another buzzworthy show. I guess Succession. People are watching that. People are watching Euphoria.
yeah,
And what's the other one? Yellowstone. People
um,
are watching those and talking about
Yellowstone.
them.
They gain their audiences though, and those people are built. They're gonna watch no matter what. But for something new like this, it's gotta be like I would love to know the numbers for the Walking Dead, the Dead City show.
I'll look that up.
Those are dismal.
I will talk about that in a second. I'm gonna go look that up. But Stickman says if they could just use some of the MCU heroes, it'd be a lot more interesting. Do you all agree with that?
Yes, it's Nick
Yeah.
Fury. It's Nick Fury, man. It's half an hour, 45
I
minutes.
forgot. You don't want to see a cyborg movie. I'm starting to notice a trend, Chief.
I don't want to see a Cyborg movie, just like I don't want to see a Swamp Thing movie. You know what I mean? But Nick Fury, just being Nick Fury for 45 minutes, I'm cool.
Okay, like, is it like I've liked it, but there is probably you do need. I'm trying not to like if you haven't watched it, I'm trying not to spoil what I think is gonna happen. But they are they're building something, but I think they probably need a quicker payoff, like that hook moment, like, oh, if you really like X movie, watch this because this is gonna blow your mind or what it does. Like, because I mean, like when they was talking, oh, we're gonna have all these, I don't want to say cameos or potential returns to the MCU, but not paying that off in the first 2 episodes probably hurts it because you're like, oh, your biggest reveal is Martin Freeman. Like that's, I mean, and that wasn't even like, oh, that was just a scroll. It wasn't like, but if you have like I said, any of the Avengers is, oh, I'm really this person, but this person's really been off world for 5 years. Or something like that, in that first hook, like, oh, you need a hook, and it's just.
But Jason, isn't it like a cameo like back in the day when we watch our '80s TV and Facts of Life comes on at season 2, and Arnold, Gary Coleman is still at the height of his popularity, and for no damn reason, here's Arnold at the school for girls in Peachtree, New York. What you talking about? But isn't that the same thing? Like, it's cheap as a whole. It's like, okay, please just watch this. Look, Arnold's here. There's Arnold Isn't that the same thing? If you were to insert,
But yeah, for us MCU, we love seeing the connected parts of other MCU. So it's like it is our hook. Like, if you like, I mean, it's like Loki. Oh wow, he brought Lady Sif back. Oh, that makes so much sense. It's like, even though I mean, like, oh, that was a good use of bringing back Jamie King for it, without having like. I mean, like, you can't. I mean, like, you can have. I was trying to think, like, you could have Jeremy Renner, but it's like probably even when they were filming that, he's probably was still injured. But you do need an Avenger level person to be a strong.
Like Black Widow. I'm not over it. I'm not over it. I love those movies, but I'm not over it.
Quicksilver could die.
Two things. Blake said, I said this previously, but they need to have Super Skrull or bring in Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans for a Skrull reveal. They need the Lando Luke Skywalker moment. I agree. It's 6 episodes, so something to get those casual people buzzing. Like, oh man, I can't believe I missed this. I really think this could have played out better as a movie phase, because then it could have built out more, and people like Chief would be like, oh, now they're tying into Nick Fury with this. Okay, I'll watch it, as opposed to I'm not watching Secret Invasion with Nick Fury. Who cares?
I was gonna say, like, because you could, like, how what is it? Cap comes back as an older guy at the end of Endgame.
But he's not.
That didn't happen. It's like the Skrull just replaced him, and he's actually still the same age. Like he's like he was living in a pocket universe with Peggy, and after they replaced him after that, like Skrulls have been here since the '90s, so it was easier for them to do.
Yeah, there's different ways they could have gone with that. Super Skrull could also be a cool transition into the FF movie. Yeah, I desperately hope they don't do another Fantastic Four origin. I don't need to spend an hour with them going into space. Maybe they can tell us a recap to a reporter or something, or like a documentary. Like, oh yeah, 10 years ago, Reed Richards and his family. But I don't need an origin. Like, do it quick. Do it like 5 minutes.
They're doing another Fantastic Four movie?
Yes, man. What do you mean?
Oh my God, yo! Like, why does this year still get crappier? This year sucks.
No, they don't even have it on
this
the
year
release.
sucks. It sucks. I hate 2023.
Release. That's the problem. Like, it's not even. Doesn't even have an official release date yet.
Yeah, it does. It's 2020.
I was laying in my bed the other day, and Michael B. Jordan came on a Fantastic Four movie, and I'd never seen it before.
No, I hope you didn't keep watching.
With Kate Mara.
Yeah. I hope you didn't keep watching.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. But
how can we get
when I say this movie was some cut, and then it reminded me back to that Jessica Alba joint.
No. Those movies were far better. They were what Francis Ford Coppola and Martin Scorsese would say are cinema compared to that Fantastic Four movie with Miles.
All of them were garbage. You know, Green Lantern was better.
I agree.
Okay.
That Fantastic Four is a travesty. And what they did to Dr. Doom and that was awful. But yeah, I mean, that's why they can make a better Fantastic Four movie. They just don't need to spend.
Because there's no floor. That's what you're trying to say. If you throw out anything.
Just like Biggie in 112 taught me, the sky's the limit. You can have what you want. Do what you want.
If you eat a T-bone steak and you throw the bone away in the garbage, right? But then you grab another T-bone and you eat half of it and you still throw it in the garbage. Yeah, there's some meat on it, but in the end, it's all garbage. And so Fantastic Four is going to be garbage.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. These are bad. This was a bad, terrible Fox film. I mean, when those earlier Fantastic Four movies came out, that was pre-MCU. So I give all those movies a different kind of pass. Anything that came after 2008, you get a real hard look from me like, are you really doing this after Iron Man? But I mean, all those studios are just like, let's throw up our movie franchise and see if it sticks. Maybe it'll be like Spider-Man. Maybe it'll be like X-Men. After that, you had to step up your superhero movie game significantly. And that Fantastic Four remake was basically, let's keep it from getting back to Marvel Studios, crap this movie out. And it was terrible and awful. But a Marvel Studios Fantastic Four movie where they know we need to make this good because we were not going to get a fourth high chance to do a better Fantastic Four movie. So
I mean, like, think about how bad that new Fantastic. I don't know if you guys remember, that movie was so bad they had to get Miles Teller back to shoot recap because he had left. They were like, dude, I got other crap to do. Like,
I've got better crap to do.
Like,
hey, listen, that Silver Surfer, Lawrence Fishburne, was money. They messed up when they tried to throw in Galactus, but in Doctor Doom, because they had no clue what they were doing with Doctor Doom in any of these Fantastic Four movies so far. I mean, he's been a travesty. And all I need to do is watch the cartoon version of Doctor Doom, because he's great.
Did you ever watch? I know you probably didn't watch this, but I never truly watched it. But like, he was big on the Charm franchise, and they must have been super huge fans of Doctor Doom. The actor played Doctor Doom from fan. They're like, no, we're gonna get him right. He's gonna be our man. He's gonna be our bad guy. And they made a bad call.
bad call. Blake's reminding me of something. Yeah, Adam Driver is gonna be Mr. Fantastic.
Oh,
shoot the 30 seconds of raw fury. It's gonna be raw fury. I want to know which one you're bringing this time.
Oh God. Woo. Yeah. You know what, fellas?
He's about to drop his camera too.
I'm about to go wherever tomorrow went. Because yeah, this is gonna be some cut, man. I'm so disappointed in this life that I'm living right now. You know, I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm gonna be honest. And before I came on this show, I was feeling pretty good.
Wow.
And now I've learned so much, and now I'm like, yeah, I was living a peaceful life. And now you've destroyed it with this.
I'm sorry, Chief. It was not my intent. 80s hit from the 90s. I'm still frustrated. Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes was canceled. I'm so with you. I mean, that was a great show. I feel like it's time to rewatch it again on my Blu-rays because I don't care about watching shows on Disney Plus in case they decide, boop, it's gone. But it's such a great show. And they're bringing back X-Men. I need them to bring back Earth's Mightiest Heroes because that show, hopefully, will have a better season 3 and 4, etc. than Young Justice. And they have more than 3 voice actors.
Gosh. You know, here's a good thing, like how Avengers Mightiest Heroes did, like the Fantastic Four. They were just there. They you always saw, they always popped up, but it never act like they were not there. It's like, you could definitely do that for the MCU. It's like, no, they were here. They just had other things to do. Like, you weren't.
You mean those Avengers?
But
so the Earth is about to end, and they're busy.
Listen, I mean, they could have been in the negative zone. They could have had a whole bunch of stuff explaining.
Uh-huh. Listen. You ain't gonna have no more trouble out of old Illinois Gordon, man. You know what I mean?
All right, let's talk about The Walking Dead: Dead City. So, Jace, did you watch it, or did you run out of time? Okay, you watched it. Right.
Oh, did I watch it? I was watching it before we came on today.
All right, what did you think? That's a long, dramatic, cheese-sized pause there.
I mean, seriously, can they stop having Maggie take L's? Like, dang, gone, man. Like,
her insurance rates in the Walking Dead universe must be terrible.
I mean, I'm just like, really? Like, you can't have her. I mean, it's like, can somebody just comment on, like, hey, can Negan have to use Maggie because has this successful community? Like, nope, it's just Maggie takes another L, has to ask for some more help. Like, come on, guys. Like, I mean, it's the only way this show can quasi make sense, but I was just like, all right, this is kind of a turn off on me. And then it's like, oh, we have time for a police force? There's still zombies around. Like, how did you get all civilized? But oh yeah, there's still these zombies. We got a international bureau of Mounties, but yet these walkers, yeah, let those sit.
Crooked Martians at that.
That was just so like, y'all didn't decide to clean up the whole walker population, but we got, hey, there's a bounty for Negan. Like, wait, you can walk with these things. How about you clean up the actual street population of zombies? I was just like,
you look, because in that world, Negan's the problem.
Exactly.
Like, Negan hadn't done anything in like 10 years. I mean, I had 2 questions.
Negan has been a house cat for a decade. Meanwhile, he's he's playing Joel to some little girl, some mute girl at some flop house with zombies right in the backyard. And Marshall shithead comes walking in there. I'm looking for this man. Let's shut up. Shut up. Everybody shut
I
up.
mean, in our world where zombies are still running around and we're civilized now, how does communication get told that to this dead guy right before he got shot? Hey, Negan gun killed me bad. Like, no, there's no picture or camera holding up like, oh, it was Negan who did it. Like, how does this get done to the next person? Like,
see, episode 3 there'll be a forensic lab, fully functional forensic lab.
Fully functional.
They got Negan's prints and stuff. And then all this time, who knew that you could go into a heavy populated zombie area with just a machine gun? I'm like, yo, it's 8 million people live in New York City, bro. And you went in there with a machine gun, didn't attract any more zombies. Like, we've seen bigger walkers walking through the countryside for no damn reason. And you're telling me in the city, there's just 40 walkers walking around in New York. No, in New York City.
It's Manhattan.
You know what I mean?
It's
Not in the
Manhattan.
city of Bowie or the city of Lanham. We're talking New York City, where there's 8 million people and you came out there with a machine gun. And when I heard the gunfire, I was thinking, oh, they've got some kind of tank or something that they're shooting from. Like somebody, like it never even occurred to me that the marshals is out there. I was thinking in my mind, like, oh, they've got some kind of military equipment that they're using. And then these two goons come in, and I'm like, yo, are you serious? Are you serious right now? And they were. They were absolutely serious. And that made this. Listen, man. Yeah.
And the Marshall's boys were absolutely useless too.
And they were garbage.
Dude, I was just trying to figure out why Money was seeing them come through. It was like, maybe I should shoot. Nah, I think.
I'll just stand here and get eaten.
That was hilarious.
I'm a snack.
It is the craziest show, man.
no, it
You
isn't.
know what I mean? And how do you keep getting people snatched from you? How do they keep coming to where you are, grabbing? You know what I mean? Yeah, hello? Yeah, I was just charging the joint. I was hoping you called back. Oh, you got a beat on Maggie? Okay, where's she at, yo? Okay, oh, she out VA? Well, hell yeah, no, we'll make the trip. We'll make the trip, man. What is it? Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware. Yeah. No problem. No problem. Maryland, and we'll get the VA. Ain't no problem. No. We ain't gonna kill her. We're just gonna steal the child and make our way back to New York. Yeah. All right. I'll see you in a few. I'm like, yo, how do you know? Like, where was? And this is Negan's boy. So you know he was like, you went from New York, you traveled all the way down there, grabbed it for a child?
No, man, they were taking hostages so they would pay them the tribute. Now that's a long way to go.
Again, so you're going to say you're recycling Negan. I'm pretty sure most of the saviors were dead. Like
I thought the
it was like you had like one or two smatterings, but this is, let's just say, roughly 15 years after the saviors. I'm pretty sure they're all
that
dead.
was a strong franchise. They're like the First Order. They're bringing it back.
Bro, and if you remember Negan, why would you test him? Like, you know what I mean? Like, some people you don't test. Some people walk down, you know what I mean? Like Frank Lucas. I got my jar. Now, after that situation, when Frank Lucas walked to the next guy with his jar, you think the dude was like, Frank, I ain't paying you. Dude was like, give Frank his money. So you don't play with Negan? Like this, bro. Yeah.
This is funny because I was entertained with the first episode, but I had a real problem with the fact that it was like Maggie's still mad at Negan. I'm like, get over it. He killed your husband. I was like, okay, but I mean, I think we need to call a spade here. Them jokers rolled up on the saviors, started killing them at night, and they were like,
whoa. You ain't supposed to remember that.
I mean, that is the
part.
Like,
the act of war. You were supposed to forget the act of war was started by Rick and his crew. Like you were supposed. You were supposed to pointed out. He's like, how many husbands and kids have you killed, Maggie? And Maggie's retort was like, I got nothing.
Yeah, none of them were mine. That's basically what she was saying. It's like, look, I think I covered this a while ago. Rick and crew, after a while, were the virus. They were the bad guy. Because everywhere they went, they were the mush. They turned your community into shit. It's what it is.
You weren't watching Fear the Walking Dead in this early season. They were a super virus. They were nuking places where they went to. Rick and his crew had nothing on them. It's literally, I'm so far behind on watching Fear the Walking Dead. My DVR is like, listen, you need to upgrade. You need to clear all this stuff out. And I'm like, all right, let me watch Fear the Walking Dead. And I'm watching an episode, and I'm fast forwarding through the commercials. They are talking about Fast and Furious, not Fast X, F9. I'm like, all right, maybe I'm a little bit too far behind. I need to catch up. Yeah. These jokers are literally dropping nuclear warheads. I'm like, this show is absurd, but I'm here for it. And I mean, they're just doing wild stuff on Fear. But those guys are the plaguest plague of all people ever. I mean, those first 4 seasons, like, oh my gosh, you guys destroy everything you touch. At least Rick and his crew had a little bit of jaded. I mean, we were in the prison for a minute. Joker came through with a tank destroying stuff on us. I understood. I mean, we went to another spot. We thought we were safe. They're trying to eat us. I get why they were like, let's be a little bit more aggressive. We're not going to be punks anymore. So I get it with them. But the Fear the Walking Dead crew, they were the absolute worst.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm thinking
you're excusing Alexandria. Like, literally, Rick comes in that thing like, hey, looks like they got a good thing. I think we got to take it over.
Jason, I'll do you one better. I'll do you one better. Hey, drunk asshole who lives on a hill with fruits and vegetables. Oh, you're being bullied? Let's go kill your bullies in the middle of the night. Let's not do our homework at all and actually just end up killing their outpost, pissing him off by throwing rocks at a hornet's nest.
They got exactly what they had. I mean, I never feel bad for them in that. And anytime Maggie wants to put them, like, listen, y'all are the ones grabbing them jokers up while they were sleeping, taking a knife to the throat.
First blood.
Yeah,
first blood.
And Negan was like, "Oh, word! All right, I'm gonna make sure there's not a second one." And I'm like, well, "All right, this is an object lesson for y'all."
Like that's why they had to have that whole extended season after for them getting punked, because you had to feel sorry for them and forget that they started this war.
You had to forget it.
Yeah, man. That was a long, long stroll with the Sabres, but yeah, because they were like, "Listen, we need y'all to forget." But I love some of the stuff they were doing in it. I mean, I didn't like the Marshal. I thought it was ridiculous. Yo, you helped. I'm gonna throw you out to the walkers. I did think that they got to New York to do it.
That was so stupid. Like, you don't have enough people in your world to just randomly, oh, we marshals, we can throw random people to the
especially a bartender.
I don't know. And it was like, why? Like, how is the marshals such? We're so feared that we're cracking down on alcohol. I think we got bigger problems to worry about than some freaking booze.
And I don't understand why they didn't kill the marshals and then put them in the backyard with the walkers. Let them be walkers. Like, who's gonna come after the marshals?
Who deputized these people?
What happened with the marshals? Some new guys showed up. They're walkers though. So listen. I don't get it, man. But you know what? I think maybe we've gotten to the age, man, where we do too much rationalization, man, on these things, man. Maybe we're just supposed to go in there and just be mindless for the hour.
Turn your brain off.
Anything, man.
I like the zombies falling off the rooftops. I mean, I was like, whoa. And then the roaches, I was like, yeah, y'all are lucky. That's all it was. I was imagining a whole mega horde of rats. I don't know if y'all saw that Resident Evil movie, but sheesh, that was frightening.
Bro, roaches? New York is filled with roaches. And the roaches wouldn't be congregating in one area, the kneel down area. Like, it just was, you know what, man? You know how many roaches? The roaches would follow the dead. Yeah.
So, 80 Skits from the 90s has some great news about the Jonathan Majors court case if you want to see him continue on. It seems like his accuser got arrested from the police. So, maybe everything will be good. And after this writer's strike is done, we'll see more Jonathan Majors going forward. Who knows? But that's the latest on the Jonathan Majors front, for those of you that care.
Is it the police or was it the marshals? She may not return.
Maybe out in the fields for aiding in the
Yeah.
battle.
You know, they may throw over the fence.
I wasn't a big fan of that, but y'all really didn't like it. That's funny. 'Cause I was entertained at least. I was like, all right, this is better than some of this other TV I've been watching.
See, you watch Fear the Walking Dead, so you probably have a different perspective. Like I remember watching that last season of Walking Dead and be like, all right, you guys are gonna explain why these guys get to these next places. And yes, you got some of these guys in bubble wrap, but you're also gonna make me want to see these next shows. And not the big bad of the season is the place that had a community center, a town hall, ice cream, and doctors. Yes, these are the bad guys. Like, no, it's you freaking Hornets. I mean, like, you gosh dang locusts are the bad guys. And you don't put the camera and let her, like, remind us, hey, guys, it was actually us. We were the bad guys. Like, we switched it up. We didn't even know it. See, that was you thought we were the good guys, but we really were the bad guys. Like, you didn't see any of that. So it's like, trying to pull that back, it's like you got to work past season 11 or whatever that was, the season of Walking Dead, to get me really hooked and watching another show of Walking Dead with the same. Hey, Maggie still sucks at being a protector. Yay! Like, no, I'm good.
Hey, I mean, I don't know what you're complaining about. We have so many other characters who are like awesome at everything. At least Maggie's allowed to make mistakes. It didn't try to fix it.
Repeatedly.
So, I won't complain about Maggie having issues. I will complain about Maggie.
What happened to that colony that
you have
Maggie
an
was
election in your city and Maggie raises her hand and you say, put it down. Just put it down.
I'd rather
relocate.
What happened to that colony Maggie was left a group to be a part of? What happened to that?
Dead. All of them dead.
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 Yeah, man.
I'd rather see the show with Carol.
Carol was going to be in the spinoff with Daryl, and they did the thing where it was like, all right, well, we're going to push everything into these spinoffs. And they did a James Gunn thing where before the season was done, it was like, hey, we got all these spinoffs. Rick Michonne and Negan and Maggie. And Daryl and Carol was like, okay, every scene with them now means they're protected. So I don't know. All right, well, fellas, it's that magical time of the week. Who are your nominees for Dummy of the Week? Jace, let's switch it up. Why don't you go first?
I'm gonna once again say my Dummy of the Week is me for listening to you asking when you asked to go watch Fear the Walk. I mean, Dead.
Wow, man, you really didn't like it.
I think I could use my time better, so I'm saying my Dummy's me.
Yes, getting the haircut. All right, mine is courtesy of you all with the dudes who think they're on Mission Impossible going on top of subways, the subway surfers. Why? That's ridiculous. Please stop. Don't do it. Shay King, what you got?
This is a 2-for-1. Pusha T and Jim Jones. Look, you guys are 50. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. Eat some soup. You're old. Take off your son's clothes. Both of you are at an age where you can have adult children. Stop rap beefing. Leave that to the guys who are your kids' age. Stop. You're 50. AARP card time.
Chief, how about you?
I still, you know what, man? I still think it's that dude Zion. Like every time I open up anything on social media, Shorty is with a pregnant test. She's getting his name tattooed on her face. I'm like, bro, non-disclosure agreement. That should be the words you speak from here on out, because I don't even understand it. And the second thing I just want to say, man, RIP to my man Julian Sands, man. Warlock is still one of my favorite movies from that era. And you know, that was I did enjoy his acting, man. You know, the arachnophobia, you know, the Warlock. He was you know, so those are my two, man.
All right. Well, fellas, thank you as always. Thank you all out there in the chat hanging out with us. Blake, 80s kid from the 90s, James Green, Stickman, Thank y'all for hanging out with us. Hopefully you had another good show hanging with us. Thank you guys as always. This episode allows Movie Files has been